Hey team, I'm putting on my shoes before we get started because I just ran from one meeting to the other. So while you wait for me to put my shoes on and I wait for my internet friends to show up, I'm gonna lecture myself out loud so you can hear it too. Self-care is a thing. In the beginning of the pandemic, I was like, somehow I am more busy with less things to do. And then I realized it was similar to this concept that I've heard in other contexts. So I've heard people talk about financial situations and say, the problem is if you live beyond your means, no matter what your means are, you will always live beyond them. So as your income rises, so does your spending. And you're always at the same place. And what I realized was like, duh, that's the same for my busyness. If I think of my time as currency, I'm always overspending my time. I'm committing. So even when I had less things to do, I found a way to overcommit. So I got really good about that. And then things have started to feel normal. And here I am once again. I know better than to plan back-to-back meetings, but I still did it and I still do it. So friendly reminder to myself that I'm saying out loud. So if any of you benefit from it as well, plan time for space in your day because you need it. That being said, another thing I need is fitness, and I'm so happy you're here to do it with me. Today's workout I just put up, and you won't really need anything other than yourself. Now, if you want, you can choose to use a jump rope, but it's absolutely not necessary for today's workout. If you really wanted to make the shoulders and the planks a little more difficult, you could wear a weighted vest, or if you have a plate, like the ones on the squat rack there, you could take one and place it on your back, kind of like a turtle shell for your planks. I guess maybe you could wear a backpack for your planks. That would make them a little more difficult. But other than that, all you need is music because you don't want to listen to me breathing heavy for the whole workout. While we are waiting for people to gather their things, let's go ahead and warm up. My shoes are fine now. We're going to start with arm and leg swings. The purpose of these is to get your blood flowing to your joints. So go ahead and swing your arm side to side 10 times. And then up and down 10 times. Then you want to do the same thing with your legs. So I like to hold on to something, forward and back 10 times. And then side to side 10 times to really open that hip joint. You can go ahead and do your other leg. And side to side. All right, cool. So if you see, today's going to be a 12-minute workout, and the whole point of it is to spike your heart rate and then let it come down. Spike your heart rate and then let it come down. So for the first 40 seconds of every minute, I want you to go as fast as possible. So I didn't pick any real strength pieces. What that means is when you're doing the workout, you want to do a version of the move that allows you to go quick. You really want to be breathing heavy, have your blood pumping. And then during that 20 seconds, your job is to lower your heart rate because that change is our goal. Whereas if you you get your heart rate really high and it's steady, that's kind of what we're used to when we work out. That's good for aerobic capacity, but today we're doing anaerobic. We really want to work on burning fat, and variable heart rate. So high heart rate, bring it down. Spike it up again, bring it down. Spike it up again, bring it down for 12 minutes. So one of the strategies for that 20 seconds, and I'm going to be out of breath too, so I'm not going to be able to say this while we're working out, but we can practice it right now. This is also, if you're training for a 5K, which I hope you are, a great strategy for running. Every third breath, so you're like, you finish your 40 seconds, you're like, third breath, you close your mouth, breathe in through your nose, fill your belly, like actually let it expand, and then breathe out through pursed lips. And then, huff and puff. So do it every 3 breaths till that 20 seconds is up. That should lower your heart rate. Before we get started, I'm going to see if there's any questions. So far, none. The first move on the first minute is jumping. I started out with the most heart rate increasing, I don't even know how to describe that, thing on purpose. I want you to be out of breath before you get to the other moves. So if you have a jump rope, they're really great at getting you out of breath. If not, you can do high knees, you can do jumping jacks. You can even pretend you have a jump rope. Just whatever is going to get you really out of breath in 40 seconds. Then we'll breathe, get our heart rates down. Knees to chest. If you have a pull-up bar, you can hang from it and actually pull your knees up. What I'd like you to do is do a version of it on the floor. I don't know if you'll be able to see. Let me get that workout off for a second. So that we can tire out our shoulders without doing push-ups. So you're in a plank position and you're just pulling your knees to your chest. If you want to make it even more difficult, you can pull them to the opposite elbow. So it's a little bit of a core and a shoulder workout. Then the next thing that you're going to do is shoulder taps. So like I said, burn out those shoulders without push-ups. You're going to stay in that same position and tap your shoulders. Try not to rock back and forth. Really squeeze your posterior, your glutes, and stay in place while you do it. And then last, this one won't make you out of breath, but we'll be working on our core. You can do a plank. So if your shoulders are like, I can't do this anymore, you can drop to a forearm plank, or you can flip to the side. If you choose the side plank, we'll just split it up to 20-20. Questions? Oh, this is going to be a fun one. I'm out of breath already, so it's always a good sign for the workout, not my fitness. Ha, fit joke. All right. Looks like we don't have any questions, so go ahead, get your music ready. I'm going to put my hair up real quick. Sorry, next time I'll be more prepared. I'll remember not to do meeting to meeting. All right, let's let the fun begin. 10 seconds and we'll get started with jumping. I'm not doing high knees because, you know what, I'm lazy. I'm going to jump as if I have a jump rope. Halfway done with these. And rest. This is where you want to bring that heart rate down. So big deep breaths. All right, and 3, we're going to go to Knees to chest or elbows. Halfway done with these. Because I should turn sideways so you can see. Three, two, one. Rest. Bring that heart rate back down. Five seconds, we'll be back in that plank position doing shoulder or chest taps. 3, 2, 1, and go. Stone in my hand. Ouch. Garage gym problems. Those of you working outside, you warriors know all about that. 5 seconds. And rest. Breathe deep. Give that heart rate down. And decide how you want to plank in 3, 2, 1, go. Halfway done. Three, two, one, rest. All right, you get to decide. Are you going to go faster this time or the same pace? Are you going to stick with the jump you did or are you going to switch it up? Get started in 3, 2, 1, and go. Remember, this first one should get you out of breath more than any of the other ones. If you can only push in one place, let it be here. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1, and breathe. Remember, the lower you can get your heart rate in between, the better. Because it's about that variable, the change. All right, get down and ready for knees. Halfway done. Five seconds. And rest. Go ahead and breathe. Get ready for chest taps. If your shoulders hurt, you can stay on all fours. 40 seconds of these. Let's go. Ten seconds. And rest. I got pneumonia in March, and whenever I do those, it feels like I still have it for a minute. All right, and plank. This time I'm going with this side plank, so I will tell you to switch at 20 seconds. If you're doing a straight arm plank or forearm plank, just stay there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Halfway into our plank. Now we're halfway done with our workout. Big deep breaths. Remember to get that heart rate down. And jumping in 3, 2, 1. Halfway. Three, 2, 1, and breathe. Get down for our knees to elbows and go. Halfway. And rest. Big deep breaths. I think if you've been here before, I've told you I'm pretty bad at workout math. We're almost done. Not halfway. Go ahead and do your last set of chest taps. I thought it was 4 rounds for some reason. Ten more seconds. All right, last set of planks. And go. And that's it. Boom. Big deep breath again. We don't want to be out of breath when we stretch. I also recommend drinking water, staying hydrated. That was fun. I love that format. So that's a workout you can take with you anywhere. And you can really switch in any moves you want to. You can make it 16 minutes, 20 minutes. It's just a really great format. Simple, effective, customizable. Doesn't really get better than that. All right. So the first stretch we're going to do is going to be seated. I prefer to tuck my feet under because then I can stretch my quads a little bit. But you can sit with your legs crisscross, straight out in front of you. It doesn't really matter because it's actually a shoulder stretch. So you're going to go ahead and make cactus arms. You're going to take one, put it under the other, and then reach as far as you can. Even if all you get to is here is fine. You might actually be able to clasp them. And then just lift up and push away. So what I mean is lift up, push away. You should feel it in the top arms, kind of shoulder, upper back area. This is another place where you can practice that really deep breathing. It helps with the stretching and relaxing into it. Try not to tighten your muscles. And release. Go ahead, back to cactus arms. Now you're going to take the opposite one underneath. Clasp them as best you can. Lift up, push away. Eagle arms, by the way, if you're curious. That's what we call that. One more big deep breath and then release. I also want to stretch this hip flexor. I'm going to give you a choice and I'm going to show you a different option. On the second option, you're going to need like a bench or a couch or a chair or something. So if you do not have one of those things, you're going to get into a lunge and push the back leg back and then push up, right? But if you do have a chair or a couch, I want you to put your knee on it and then push your hip forward so you can really stretch. This is so good for those of us who've been sitting at computers or maybe you've been driving a lot. Because you know when we're pulling our knees in, you're tightening up this hip flexor and psoas. We really want to stretch that out. You know, it's the same position it's in if you're sitting at 90 degrees. And then you can go ahead and switch sides. I like to put my hand on my hip on the same side leg I'm stretching and kind of like push down into it. All right, and since I'm ending a little early, we'll add a third stretch. This one's especially good for if you're typing. So you're gonna put your hands in front of you, your shoulders over them, breathe a little, then lean forward. So if I do it from the side, I'm actually stretching my wrist. Hopefully you're still leaning. Just want to hide that so you could see a little better. So I'm leaning forward, gentle, because this one, you can go too far, too fast really easily. Then release. Try it again. Maybe you'll be able to lean a little bit further. Release. Now we're going to turn our hands sideways so they're facing out, still under the shoulders. We're going to lean to the left a little. Come to center, breathe out, lean to the right. Come to center, lean to the left. Center, lean to the right. Then we're gonna walk our hands backwards and we're gonna lean back. Try as far as you can go, keeping your palms flat. You don't want the heels of your palms coming up. So you might stop right here and that's okay. And back again. Release. Now this one, be very delicate with. You're gonna flip it over, palms towards you. And don't put any body weight, but keep your elbows locked. Stretch those wrists, release. And again. And then I like to finish this up by making a ball with my fists and just rolling them around. And then roll the opposite way. Shake it out. Voila, we are done. Thanks for joining me today, as always. Remember, our outdoor programming is in full swing. August is right around the corner. So we're going to have not one, but 2 camping trips available. Conklin Gully, which is a beautiful but semi-difficult hike. And you can do the hike and camp, or just the hike and skip out on camping. Then for those of you a little more experienced and looking for a more challenging hike, there's a camping trip in late August to the Adirondack Mountains. So there's those. If you want to stay local, we have Couch to 5K, which is applicable for people who are literally just coming off the couch or those who have been running. It's at your own pace, so it's a really cool format. And the morning workouts with Sean and Yana. And then we also have the afternoon ones with Brandon, which if you didn't see, have permanently switched to Charlotte Beach location. Cobb's Hill is so beautiful. There's been a lot of people there, so it's just safer now to go to Charlotte Beach. With that, you're like, you know what? I love you all, but I'm not going out in public. That's perfect too. I'll be back here next Wednesday. And we have tons of backlogged workouts from your favorites on our YouTube channel. So all the options, all of the love, and all of the appreciation. See you around, internet friends.